All right, so we're going to look at problem 7 from the week 2 assignment. We had a question about how to calculate the new average. This is which is part B of the problem, as you can see here. So there's an equation we use to figure out average. So the average, or the x bar, is the sum of all of your values. So you add up all your values and divide it by the sample size. Okay? So we're going to use that information, that equation, to help us figure out the new average. Okay, so it's going to be a little tricky in some ways, but thinking of this will help us out. So the professor graded the first batch of 29 exams. So this is just with n equals 29. From n equals 29, we ended up getting an average of 84. So if we had an average of 84, what this is saying is that we have an average of 84. That's like our x bar. And we have n equals 29. So to figure out what we want to do is figure out the sum of those 29 test scores. We're going to need that to figure out the new average. Okay, so to figure that out, we would just multiply both sides by 29. And that will give us the sum of x for these 29 test scores would be 29 times 84. I'll calculate that really quickly. That's 29 times 84. So if we summed up all of the test scores from those 29 test scores, we would have 2,436, taking these two numbers and multiplying them. Okay, so we have the sum of 29 test scores. But now we're going to get the student who took the makeup exam, the 30th student, who scored a 65. So our sum of values, our sum of x, is going to increase. So our new sum of x, so I'll just say from n equals 30, adding in that extra data value of 65, we're going to have an additional value added to sum of x. So our new sum of x, so we'll say this is the new, using n equals 30, our sum of x is going to change from 2,436 and add on an extra 65 to our sum. So that is going to give us, I'll add 65 to what we had here, 2,501. So our new sum of x is 2,501, but now we have n equals 30. So we can figure out our new x bar using this equation up here. X bar is equal to the sum of all the data values, which is now 2,501, and we're going to divide that by our new sample size, which is 30. There's 30 data values. So 2,501 divided by 30 is approximately equal to 83.366, so forth. Notice that the problem asks you to round to two decimal places. So this would be approximately equal to 83 point, now that would be 37. So make sure you pay attention to the rounding. That's important. And on top of that, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense that of the approach that we did here to figure out our result. And notice also that your data may be different. I'm using a different problem. So keep in mind that maybe your old average was an 84. Your sample size might be different. Your last test score from the makeup, it may not be 65. I'm using a whole different problem. So use your data value to approach it in this same general way. Let me know if you have any concerns, and I'll be more than happy to help.